Hey, Muiz Meor here. You are listening to Hey Myself Podcast. Cue the music, baby! Hello, and welcome back to Hey Myself Podcast. I just want to do a quick recap. So, me and Abangnic discussed about the Five Love Languages by Dr. Gary Chapman. Well, I gotta say, it's a really great book though. We do not have all the answers, but if you want more wider and understanding around this topic, please go check out Dr. Gary Chapman's book. I can assure you, you will not be disappointed. Also, I want to apologize for the audio quality throughout this episode. But don't worry, Abangnic's audio is crystal clear. Only on my part got some trouble there. Again, I am so sorry if you feel annoyed or uncomfortable of the audio quality. Grab your favorite snacks, sit comfortably, and enjoy. Peace.
Okay, here we go. Hello, everybody. What's up? Thank you so much for tuning in again to this week's episode. And I am so grateful today because I am not alone. I'm here with Abangnic.
Wow.
Yo, wow.
Abangnic, guys. Oh my
Abangnic.
gosh.
Welcome to the show, actually. It's been quite a journey, actually. So Abangnic and me will be having this conversation throughout the podcast. So most of the time, I'm not gonna do it alone. Most of the time, Abangnic will accompany me, and both of us just gonna have a chit chat. We don't even have a format. We just blah blah blah, screw it, just do it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So yeah. All right,
So glad to be here. Thanks so
yeah,
much for
thank
having
you.
me.
Thank
Yeah.
you for doing this, man. Like, I was so hyped to have a conversation just to chill out with you. And we're gonna go through your intro. So tell us about who you are and what you're doing currently.
Who am I? What I do? Okay. Hi guys. My name is Nicholas. You might know me as Abangnic because I use that. That's my stage name. I stream a lot on Twitch nowadays, and I'm gonna just plug in my Twitch link, which would be twitch.tv/Abangnic. And on the side, I'm dabbling into content creation as well. I'm also a final year student in university. So yeah, that's just a little bit about me. And I decided to help out Muiz as a co-host for his podcast. So it's going to be a very exciting journey, and I just can't wait to see how the future will have for us. So yeah,
Yeah, cool. Thank you. We'll link your Twitch profile in the description below. So
thank you so much.
anybody, if you are onto live stream and just want to catch new fresh things or streaming, go ahead check out Abangnic's profile. Link in the description. So we spare no details. Everybody's gonna find out who Abangnic is. So yeah, so excited to be here, man. So hyped.
Yeah. Well, that was a
Right.
great intro.
Yeah, cool. So what are we gonna talk about today? This week. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, today our first topic for today's podcast will be about the five love languages, which I think
Oh.
by this time, in this modern age in society, it is a very hot topic. It is a very trending topic right now. Muiz agrees. Muiz nodding his head. Yes. So that is the topic that we've chosen for today's podcast. Muiz, I just want to ask, okay, just to kickstart a bit into our podcast, what do you understand about the five love languages?
Well, what do I understand? From reading the book and listening to the audiobook, it's basically we all want to feel loved, right? We all want to feel loved, but we don't receive and give love in the same way. So that's why Dr. Gary Chapman, big shout out to Dr. Gary Chapman for this amazing book. He eventually noticed that there are five love languages. So I'm just gonna go debrief just go roughly. So we have first of all we have words of affirmations, and number two we have quality time. Number three in receiving gifts, acts of services, and physical touch. So what I learned throughout my how do I say this? Throughout listening to this book and reading to this book and re-examining and revisiting my relationship past and hearing breakup stories from some of my friends and some of the people that have been texting me, it feels like, whoa. It feels like relationship doesn't work because we expected too much. First of all, we expected too much, and then number two will be, it's we don't speak the same language. Yeah, right? Because we are the same human. We're the same species. We're human beings, but we are different kind of outputs. We receive different things. So that's what makes us humans unique. So yeah, that's kind of long babbling this stuff. I don't know, man. It's just that's what I learned from this book, and yeah, it's a really great book. If you guys want to check it out or check it out in Audible or whatever you can get, I think you can just Google the book, Five Love Languages, and it has not just one book. Dr. Gary Chapman wrote lots of book regarding to this chapter, regarding to this five love language. So yeah, I think that's all.
Right, awesome. So you touched a bit about the five love languages already. You already explained, which will be words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, gifting, and also what's the last one? Am I missing?
Acts of service and physical touch.
Physical touch, right?
Yeah.
So okay, let's see. Where shall we go from here? Okay, Muiz, why don't you explain a little bit about all these five love languages? What are each of these five love languages actually mean?
Well, from first words of affirmation, it's simply just nice words, not just typical nice words, not just like, hey, I love you. Not just that. It's a simple and plain, not that. It will be, for example, you compliments. Yeah, right, compliments. Oh, you look so good today, Nick. Damn, Nick, looking so fresh in that suit,
Wow, I
baby.
feel loved.
Yeah. The love, like woo! And
Yeah.
meaningful words, encouraging words, inspiring words, words that doesn't seem fake. Is that the word? Is that the sentence? I don't even know. Like,
Yeah.
most of all, it's a compliment and meaningful words. So
Compliment and meaningful words. Would you say that the words are also meaning to like validate someone, which means make them feel more accepted? Would it be in the category of words of affirmation as well?
I would say that. But I forgot to put this in the intro. Disclaimer alert. I do not know all the answers. I just read and listen to the book, and I just share what I've read and what I've listened, what I've looked into the summary of the book and the conclusion of the book. And so I don't have all the answers, but if you guys want more detail, you can listen to the book and you can buy the book or rent the book or whatever. Yeah. So just to be clear and to be more understand on this kind of five love languages. So back to your question, I think it would be throughout compliments, throughout giving compliments, they may feel accepted. They might feel more loved, like just giving compliments. Hey, babe, you look so beautiful today. Damn, Dad, you look so good in those suit. Hot damn. And then the person will be responding, hey, thanks. I feel so much love. And insults. Oh, insult is definitely gonna hurt so deep in this type of person that their love language is words of affirmation. For example, you done something stupid. For example, you how do I say this? You misplaced something. You did a mistake, and then all right. Here's the example. You take out trash. Okay, you take out trash. Your mom nagging you. Hey, Dad, it's about time to take out the trash. Go ahead. And then suddenly you feel like I need to take the trash out. I need to be productive. So you took the trash out. You sweep the floor. You clean the house, and then your mom responded, "About time you take out the trash." About time you clean the house. The house is not gonna clean itself, and you hurt. You feel like, oh damn, you know, and you feel like hurt so deep. So definitely insult not the best approach. They're gonna feel like you, even though just a joke, even though just you insulting, just say, hey, I'm just joking about that, man. Come on, and you feel like don't be don't be so childish. Some people be responding, hey, don't be a baby about it, man. Come on, we're just joking. Like to you maybe it's a joke, but to me or to other people that their love language, that their primary love language is words of affirmation, no, it's a no-go, man. It's no joke. It's kind of hard to, you know, to say some discouraging words, even though it's compliment, even though it's been taken as joke. It's gonna hurt so deep. So I think that's the answer. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so we're done with words of affirmation. Let's continue talking about quality time. What about that?
Oh yeah, quality time. Yeah, quality time. All the people might be thinking, just spend time with them. Just spend time with your loved ones, your partners, your husband, wife, and parents and stuff. But there's difference between spending quality time and spending time. For example, the analogy of Netflix and chill. For example, you and your partner, you and your wife, you and your husband or loved ones, spending time. Just sit down, lay down on the couch, eating popcorns and watching Netflix, and that's not quality time actually. Quality time means both of you physically and emotionally there with each other. You lend your ears together, you make eye contact. There's no distraction, no phones, no TVs, no computers, no devices, none of that. It's like us right now. We're having some quality time right now. So that's the quality time. That's the meaning of quality time. It's not that you've been there with them for an hour, for example, Netflix and chill, watching movies for 2 hours plus, and then you be like, all right, time to go, babe. Time to go to bed. No, it's not quality time. Quality time means you both of you having connecting and engaging with each other. Both of you feel that. So that's what it means to for quality time. And how do they hurt so deep? Well, one of the examples that I can give is that cancel or postpones dates. For example, both of us. For example, quality time is your primary love language. Me and you, we set a date. We're gonna go for a hike, for example. And then all of a sudden, 10 minutes later, I say, "Hey Nick, sorry, I had this one thing that I need to do. It's really important." And you respond with, "Oh, okay." Through text, we don't know the tone, we don't know the feelings engaged. But you feel so hurtful. You feel like, God damn, why does Muiz cancel last minute? We've been planning for this for years, months, and then you just cancel it out. Shit, man. This guy's a totally dork. God damn. Like you feel hurt because your primary love language is quality time. So yeah, definitely don't cancel or postpone. Just make your time.
Yeah. That's so true. I feel that personally, for quality time, it's for some of us maybe I would say that not all of us have like it's 100% our love language quality time or any of this, but like maybe quality time would be 60% of our love language. So from what I hear from your explanation, we could roughly say that the higher the percentage of that love language is in yourself, the more likely you're going to feel hurt, the more impactful it is when somebody does something against your love language. Say, for example, maybe you have, maybe person A has 50% of words of affirmation love language in themselves, but person B has 100%. If you insult person A, he might not feel as much hurt compared to person B.
Mhm.
So, and it's very interesting because this opens up a whole topic of manipulation.
Yeah.
What a weird thing to think about, right? But like,
Yeah.
imagine, you can actually manipulate somebody if you know they're how much exactly of this love language they have in themselves.
Mm-hmm.
And that's actually how powerful love language is. And I don't think a lot of us realize that.
Yeah. So that's why some people, the term butthurt,
Yeah.
butthurt, and everybody's been thinking that saying these things hurt themselves. But as you mentioned just now, we tend to not have only one primary love language. Maybe we have all. Maybe we have all. But the main thing is we have to keep on examining. We have to keep experimenting with us and with our partners, or with our friends, or with our family members. And after reading this five love languages of children, I kind of noticed that my nephews and nieces' love languages is kind of crazy, man. And then I throughout reading the book, I was like, oh, this. I think this might be my primary love language, you know. But for us to have all the love language, it's common. It's definitely common. But all of us definitely have at least one or two primary love language.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's so true. It's maybe all of us have everything, but it's just how much they influence our life. So we have a ranking of which one is our number one or number two love language and so on.
Yeah.
But anyway, I think we have sidetracked a little bit here. Let's
Mm-hmm.
head back to the explanation. So we have done words of affirmation and quality time. Let's
All right.
talk about gifting.
Oh yeah, receiving gifts. All right, yeah. So this love language is kind of confusing for me until now, because for kids and for adults, we tend to speak. It's the same concept, but for kids, gifts means a lot to them. For some, you know why some adults, or majority of adults, buy toys and gift surprises to the kids, right? It's because they think that all of the kids love receiving gifts, but that's not the case. Maybe all of them love receiving gifts, but it's not necessarily that, you know. And then I've read there's this one section in the five love languages of children that attracts me. It stated that, I can't remember. It says this: you have to be careful in buying toys, because you need to ask some questions, such as, what kind of value this toy can give to my kid? What can they learn from this toy? Because nowadays we tend to, parents tend to give this technology stuff, these gadgets, phones, tablets, and stuff. That's kind of dangerous, you know. And for adults, I think for adults is kind of, it's kind of confusing too, because because gifts is not just about materialistic things. People think that, oh, this guy or girl love to receive gifts because his or her just being materialistic and stuff. But no, that's not the case. Gifts doesn't mean to be big. It doesn't mean it has to be expensive and stuff. It just, just a simple small thing. It's not about the it's not the cost, actually. It is the thought that counts. The thought or your intention. For example, why some girls love receiving chocolates? Because that probably their primary love language, chocolates and bouquet of flowers. Why movies and music videos tend to perceive these kind of things? Girls love flowers, girls love chocolates, because that is one of the gifts. Meaningful gifts. Some people, I've seen some of my friends that say, how do you know that this person loves you? Because he or she bought me this flower. He or she gave me this ring, showing me the ring. And I was like, can ring? How the hell ring can be defined as gifts? And then I was like, no, it's not the cost, actually. It is the intention that was given. You know what I'm saying? For so
The
yeah,
thought behind the item
yeah,
given.
the thought and intention behind the item given. It's not about the price, ladies and gentlemen. It's not about the big prizes, you know. But gifts can turn out to be manipulative. For example, I've read this one of the stories in the Five Love Languages of Children that this couple has eventually gone through divorce, and the mother was taking care of two children, I guess, two girls. And then the girls tend to love to hang out with the fathers because the father eventually married another woman and have a really massive, rich life, so they can afford to surf, go surfing, and his father tend to give these expensive gadgets and stuff, and giving being in the yacht, and then it kind of get manipulative, you know. And then it kind of backfires the mother. The girl said, "Mom, you are why you never be like dad? You know, we love hanging with dad. Why can't we stay with dad? You see that expensive gifts tend to manipulate the children to backfire on the mother. So thankfully, the mother had the courage to talk to her ex-husband and say, hey, can we just stop giving these expensive gifts and we go through marriage counseling? And then they eventually went to see Dr. Gary Chapman and then explained everything. And Dr. Gary said, okay, you need to stop give these expensive gifts. Maybe your kids' love languages is gifts, but it tend to be manipulative. So you need to stop that. You just need to give meaningful gifts that they can keep forever. So,
Yeah. That's very interesting. It's again the whole idea of manipulating behind love languages. It's a whole other huge topic that we can talk about, and we can just uncover like one after another different kind of tactics that we can actually use to manipulate people, and that's very, very dangerous. But interesting, I always thought that gifting is just the idea of giving something to someone because it's their love language. But I never knew that it's also related to the thought and intention behind them. I think that's a very shocking discovery today. So, yes, that was very interesting, Muiz. Thank you so much for that. Okay, let's move on to the fourth language, which will be physical touch.
It's actually acts of services.
Acts of service.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do acts of services then.
So acts of service is basically just simple. It's helping this person or ease their burden. Yeah, that's a simple thing. You know, just for example, taking out the trash. You know, offering some help in the kitchen, or vacuuming, cleaning, or buying groceries. Just simple acts of service. You don't need to be in a volunteering program or helping these huge people. No, you don't need to do that. Just a small thing that counts. So it's basically just a simple and short thing. Acts of services, you know.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I thought there was going to be more of an elaboration on that, but never knew it's going to be that simple. So it's just basically doing somebody a favor or helping them. That can also be a love language for somebody, right?
Yeah. And for kids, eventually parents don't realize this. There's this story in the Five Love Languages of Children. There's this family. The father doesn't want to help because he thinks that, oh, if I do everything for my kids, when they will learn. And then the 17-year-old kind of feel like, Dad, you don't love me. I don't think that you love me. And then the dad was kind of snapped. It was like, what? Dude, I truly love you. What the hell are you talking about? Because every time I ask for your help, you said that I can figure it out. For example, how to the story is I think lit up the fire using just sticks and stones. You know, the classic in the jungle lighting fire.
Yeah.
And the dad said, you can figure it out, kid. Just do it on your own. And I was like, okay. And eventually he did, and doing laundries and what else? Cooking and stuff. It feels like he doesn't feel loved by his father, and yeah, eventually that's one of the things to teach your kids. But I don't think it's relevant anymore this time. In this kind of era, we as a parent we need to confront them and say, okay, kid, this is how you manage your thing. This is how you cook. This is how you do your laundry. Just by showing them. And if they come to you and say, Mom, Dad, how do I do this again? You just explain it with empathy, compassion, not just say, fuck, man, I've already told you this many goddamn time. You can just do it on your goddamn own. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. Your kid's gonna feel super hurtful, but just a simple acts of service. Just help. For kids, as a parent, you need to help your kids whenever your kids is in need of help. Just help. don't be such a lazy ass bum ass. It's a message for me too, because my nephews and nieces tends to ask for my help, and then I was like, "Kid, you can figure it out on your own. I already taught you this," and I was like, "Dude, no." So yeah, basically it's a message for me too.
Okay, so it's not merely just helping somebody or doing them a favor, but it's also guiding somebody,
Yeah.
imparting some knowledge, basically. That's also considered acts of service. Very interesting. And the final one, spicy one, physical touch.
Yeah. Cue the
Yeah.
romantic music, baby. Physical
Go
touch.
ahead.
Yeah. Some people physical touch tends to be misunderstands too. People tend to misunderstand this love language. Physical touch doesn't necessarily mean sexual intercourse or having sex. No, it's basically just holding hands, hugs, kisses, cuddles. Just physically touch your partner, your parents, your family members, your friends. But the thing is, for us guys, especially, I've seen this in our society. We tend to, when this really happens to me all the time. When I have a chat with my friend, some of my friends, they tend to share their problems and stuff. When I've seen them being so miserable, in sharing their pain, and they feel like, no, I was so in deep pain, And then my way of showing compassion is to calm him down. I try to touch his hand. I try to hold his hand, and then immediately he just pulled it away. He's like, "Whoa, what the fuck? Are you gay?" Dude, no, it doesn't mean gay, man. Like, it's crazy how girls are so. How do I say this? They're so normalized in this kind of touching things, in hugs and holding hands. Like, we don't see two girls or a group of girls holding hands by saying they're lesbians. We don't say that. But when guys do those things, we tend to say they're gay. So this physical touch, it's so easy to be misunderstood, and it's easy to be similarized. Is that a word? To be same thinking as sexual harassment. There's a difference between that. Sexual harassment, you touch private parts, and you have sexual intentions. For physical touch, it means that you touch that person with compassion, and it doesn't necessarily mean holding hands. It's just playing catch, playing basketballs, bear hugs.
It could be a pat on the back.
It could be it could be a pat on the back. It could be just, hey, atta boy, atta girl, and just soft touch on the shoulder, soft touch on the massage. Massage is one of the things, one of the physical touch. Yeah.
Okay. So whenever you touch somebody, let's say for example, just randomly or occasionally, I guess that would help them calm down and relax a bit. Or
Yeah.
maybe when you are touching them, it makes them feel like, okay, there is somebody here who is actually supporting you. Some people need to go to the extent of touching them, but some people don't feel comfortable doing it. So clearly, you know that their love language is not physical touch.
Mm.
So I believe we have already understand the five love languages already, which are
Yeah.
words of affirmation, acts of service, gifting, physical touch, and also quality time. Right.
Yeah, words of
Um,
affirmation, quality time, receiving gifts, acts of services, and physical touch.
yeah,
Yeah.
going through that order. Okay, so if you're wondering why this matters, I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, because love languages are probably just something you know at the back of your head, and it'll probably help you out a little bit in your communication and your relationships with people. So
Yeah.
it's good to discover more a bit yourself about yourself, and this is something that you should probably find out because it's really interesting to help you be able to put it in words. You know, like if let's say you're into a relationship, communication is key. We all can agree on that, right? So if you guys ever happen to come across the topic, if you're in a relationship and you happen to come across the topic of love language, or you're trying to figure out how to impress your partner and stuff, doing the love language test will definitely be able to help you understand them a little bit more, and you'll be able to find out a little bit more about yourself as well. So I'll definitely recommend you guys to check out how to do check out and find out what your love languages are so that it's easier for you to communicate with your partner and avoid misunderstandings. You
Mm.
can easily explain to your partner, hey, I think this would be better whenever I'm feeling this way or something. You get the point, right? So love finding a little bit more about yourself. That's what I advocate for. So please do this love language test if you can. Again, it's not a must, but it's always interesting to always find out something that you never knew about yourself, right? So yeah, that's just about it.
Yeah. And man, I am so enjoy talking to you about these five love languages. It's
Yeah, it was interesting. Yeah.
yeah, it's interesting. And eventually we found out that our primary love language is definitely different from what we expected. And so now I would say, yeah, I am a touchy person. Yeah.
I got one correct though. Acts of service is still in the top two.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I didn't expect that my first primary love language is physical touch, but yeah.
Yeah, same. I never expected receiving gifts to be in top three now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting to get updated.
Yeah. So eventually, this five love languages is definitely not fixed, I would say, because we tend to change. We evolve. So
Yes.
maybe now we think that your primary love language is quality time, and mine would be physical touch. Maybe in 2 years, in the future, or 5 years in the future, it will be changed, and it's okay. Things change. We evolve. So yeah, don't feel such bummer about that. It's still okay though. And so is there anything that you want to add up?
Uh, it gets complicated from there and then on, I guess, when you find out about your love language, because you might change. We change quickly. Okay, maybe
Mm.
next month something might happen to us, and it will probably change our personality and attitude. So maybe our love language will change according to that. Like for example, for me, it used to be acts of service first, and receiving gifts was like, I don't know, number four, number five, and now receiving gifts is top three, and acts of service is number two, and number one is quality time for me. So it changes according to my personality, right? And I've read a few articles online that it could get as complicated as different people you mix with will have you will need different love you will have different love languages in response. So maybe in person A you would prefer words of affirmation, from person B you would prefer quality time. It can get as complicated as that, but don't worry about it. I would say just go and find out more first about what your love language is, and then after that just work from there and then on if you're trying to discover a little bit more about yourself.
Yeah. And Nick, thank you so
Yeah.
much for doing this with me, man.
No worries, my guy.
I'm so excited, and I'm so grateful that we have the chance to have this conversation for over an hour right now. I could say, wait, hold
It
up.
was a very interesting thick topic, honestly, and
Yeah.
we had so much to talk about, really.
Yeah. So yeah. I think there's nothing that I want to add. I think that will be all. And I want to say thank you to abangnic for joining me, and to all of our listeners. Thank you so much for spending time with us on this journey to finding out, to hear about love languages. Again, disclaimer: this is not the. I don't claim to have all the answers. So if you want to have more detail and more understanding more about these love languages, you can just go ahead, read the book or listen to the audiobook. You get more wider perspective on that. So yeah. And don't forget, if you want to know your primary love language, just take the quiz. Yeah. So yeah. Yeah, that's all. What a weird outro, right? So we can proceed to outro. That's from my part, and heading to you, abangnic.
All right, so let me wrap it up.
Yeah.
Okay, so thanks so much everyone for listening in today. I guess this podcast again, Muiz and I, we both don't know everything, but we definitely read a bit on love languages and whatever topics we will be covering in the future. I guess this podcast is more of towards self-help and self-discovery and self-improvement as well. So hopefully somehow it will be able to help you. Maybe just learn something a little bit more. Of course, we'll do a bit of a variety of different topics, right, Muiz?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it will not only be about self-help and improvement. There are a whole bunch of other stuff we can talk about. We even discussed about talking about student experience and stuff also. So these are just some things that you can relate to, and it's meant to be taken in a small, just like a chill pill, you know. And if it interests you, you can always just do your own research and further dwell into it. And who knows, maybe in the future we might even invite experts into this podcast so that we can get an expert's point of view, so that you can actually get some juicy materials and learn something from this podcast. But it's been great, really, and I'm really privileged honored to be chosen as his co-host for this whole podcast. I don't think we have a title yet, right? Or do we have a title for this podcast? I mean, the name of this whole podcast series.
I don't know.
It's titled Hey Myself.
Oh, the podcast, not this
Yeah.
episode, right?
I mean, in general, like your entire podcast series, what would you
Oh
call it?
yeah, it's a Hey Myself podcast. So basically,
Okay.
if you guys been confused, why is his name Hey Myself? It's basically, I eventually just love to hang out with myself, just talk to myself, and it's a reminder for me, and especially a reminder for me that I am suck AF, and I need to improve myself a lot every single day. So that's why I named this podcast Hey Myself. So yeah.
Yeah. So this podcast is actually Muiz's brainchild, and I'm just hopping on board to help him out as his co-host. So that's how it is so far. And yeah, we just want to thank you guys so much for listening in. We hope that you have a great week ahead of you. Please stay home if you can, and please stay safe. I think that's it from Muiz and I.
Alright.
Yep. Okay. So
Yeah.
peace out, guys. Have a
Right.
great week.
And lastly, I want to add, remember, keep learning, keep fighting, and stay awake. So, peace out. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow, what a great episode. I just want to say thank you so much for listening. And I am so grateful for your time. And I hope you can learn something from today's episode. And as always, I wish you and your family are happy, healthy, safe, and well during these times.